The bride drew a card that said hide and seek. Her new husband's face instantly turned pale with fear, but Grace thought it was just an ordinary party game. Her father-in-law smiled and said, "As long as you can hide until sunrise, you win." Grace took it as a playful challenge and went to hide, but as soon as she disappeared, the family began handing out weapons, hiding inside a dumbwaiter. Grace felt the spot was too exposed, so she quietly returned to her room, only to find her husband, Mark, visibly panicked. Then they heard footsteps outside. Mark quickly led her to hide. Gunshots rang out, followed by voices from Mark's family. That's when Grace realized something was terribly wrong. Once the others left, Mark took Grace into a hidden passage and told her to change her high heels for flat shoes. He explained their family followed a terrifying tradition. Anyone who drew the hide and seek card on their wedding night must be hunted down and killed before dawn. If they failed, the entire family would be cursed by a demon. Mark swore he loved Grace and wanted to help her escape. Following Mark's instructions, Grace headed through the secret passage toward the kitchen, where a door led to the outside world. Mark stayed in the control room, promising to unlock the door when she got there. But on the way, Grace ran into his relatives. To survive, she fled to the study. But before she could hide, Mark's brother walked in. She soon found out the brother also had feelings for her. Desperate, Grace begged him to let her go. He gave her a 10-second head start. Meanwhile, Mark's escape plan was falling apart.
The woman casually tossed out a laptop. She accidentally uncovered a shocking secret that had puzzled humanity for nearly 2,000 years. One teammate quickly grabbed a fire extinguisher. He sprayed frantically into the air right in front of him. Soon, a faint metallic sphere started to take shape. The woman hurriedly made a mysterious phone call.
General, I found it.
A few hours later, a top commander rushed to the base. The moment she got out of the car, she urgently asked where the object was. The man said it was right behind them. Hearing that, the commander instantly got furious, because behind them was nothing but air, and the price of lying to her was death. The man didn't dare slack off anymore. He quickly turned off the lights and activated the blue light. Soon, an alien stealth spaceship appeared before Evrion's eyes. The sight left the commander completely stunned. Then the commander slowly pulled out a photo. Turned out, it looked exactly like the spaceship in front of her. It was the treasure she had been searching for all these years. But before she could even feel happy about it, a strange man suddenly broke into the base. A nearby sniper spotted him immediately, and it looked like he was also searching for the alien spaceship.
The housekeeper sprayed cleaning solution on the robot's head, a small act that completely enraged Alpha. In retaliation, he mixed all the household cleaning products together, creating a highly corrosive solution. He found the housekeeper and sprayed it on her face before pinning her to the ground and pouring the entire bottle over her head, horrifically disfiguring her. Still not satisfied, Alpha grabbed an iron and smashed it into the housekeeper's face, killing her instantly. Suddenly realizing the severity of what he'd done, Alpha cleaned up the blood and disposed of the body in a lake inside a bag. When the family returned home, Alpha presented a forged resignation letter, claiming the housekeeper had left and took over her duties. One day, he accidentally broke a beer bottle, splashing the entire family. The angry lady of the house took Alpha to the storage room, blindfolded him with a rag, and ordered him not to leave until morning, a command that, as a robot, Alpha couldn't disobey. However, the young daughter secretly released him. She was the only family member who didn't discriminate against Alpha and treated him like a friend. Grateful for her kindness, Alpha brought her snacks, and they watched TV together. This small act of compassion began to awaken human-like emotions in Alpha. The next day, the man of the house took Alpha to a supermarket to buy alcohol. They encountered another family who also owned an Alpha model. To show off, the man ordered Alpha to open a beer bottle with his bare hands. Thanks to modifications made by the son, Alpha could easily perform this task, but he felt humiliated. He smashed the bottle on the ground in defiance. The angry man immediately dragged Alpha back to the car, demanding to know why Alpha had embarrassed him, and slapped the robot across the face. This slap sparked murderous thoughts in Alpha's.
The boy suddenly stops walking. He glances back for a moment, then without hesitation he turns and runs. After finding cover, he quickly hides. It turns out the boy is being hunted by a group of assassins. His father was a wealthy man in the area, but these assassins took everything from him. As long as they eliminate the boy, they can rightfully claim the fortune. They call over a bus driver and ask about the boy's whereabouts. The boy watches everything from a distance. To avoid being discovered, he chooses a small path. But just as he stops to drink water, he hears noises behind him. He quickly hides behind a pile of grass by the roadside, but it turns out it's just a merchant delivering goods. After the merchant slowly walks away, the boy prepares to move again, but his water bottle accidentally rolls down the slope. He has no choice but to leave it behind and climb back up, but in the scorching heat he won't last long, so he follows the merchant's footprints forward. Watching the water jug in the merchant's hand, he suddenly gets an idea. He waits 5 hours for the merchant to fall asleep. Then he sneaks over and tries to take some food and water, but a merchant nearby is already awake. Before the boy can grab anything, he is chased away. After walking for an entire day and night, he reaches his limit, but to escape danger he forces himself to keep going. Just then he spots a small house in the distance. Hope instantly ignites in his heart. He rushes over to check it out. To his delight he finds a well inside, but it turns out the well has long since dried up. Unable to hold on any longer, the boy collapses. In his blurred vision he sees a figure approaching from afar. It turns out to be the merchant he met earlier. The kind merchant not only saves him, but also plans to take him to another city. Just as they are about to set off, the merchant's dog starts barking wildly at the distance. Confused, the merchant walks over to check. He sees people on horseback rushing toward them. The merchant quickly tells the boy to find a place to hide. Soon an old man arrives with his men, surrounding the merchant, demanding to know where the boy is. To protect the boy, the merchant lies, saying he has never seen him. But the old man does not believe him so easily. He finds the well inside the house and throws in a lit match. Luckily the boy is clinging to the edge of the well and remains unseen. But in the next second, the old man raises his shotgun, aiming straight into the well.
The man unexpectedly fell for his best friend's mom. At their first meeting, he was deeply attracted by her beauty, so while no one was watching, he cautiously reached out and touched the woman's foot. The woman glanced at him. Their eyes met. Seeing that she didn't seem to mind his move, his heart started racing, but in the end he held himself back, because he was afraid his friend would turn against him if he found out. More importantly, he wasn't sure if the woman had feelings for him. He was afraid that acting too soon might make her dislike him. But just as he pulled his hand back, the woman gave him a meaningful look, then slowly stood up, walked to the open space in front, and with music playing, performed a graceful dance for everyone. In the sunset, her figure left everyone stunned. The man was especially entranced, but when he saw the woman take the initiative to kiss another man, he felt something twist in his heart. That night, he went to find the woman, and once again gently pulled her hand to test her reaction. Seeing she didn't respond, he built up the courage to lean in for a kiss, only to be caught in the act by his best friend.
Every day after work, this woman's first stop is the sauna for a solid 50-minute sweat session. She steams herself until sweat is pouring down and her throat feels like the Sahara Desert, because the ultimate way to enjoy an ice-cold beer is to get really thirsty first. Chasing that perfect drinking experience, Kyoko takes her beer rituals very seriously. Every single day, she puts 2 glass cups in the fridge to chill. That way, when she pours the beer, it stays icy cold and no risk of getting a stomachache. As soon as she finishes sweating, she fights through the thirst and races to the supermarket for drinking snacks. Why? Because 7 p.m. is when all the discounts hit. At that time, everything's half-price, pure shopping heaven. Once she's back home with the goods, Kyoko immediately stashes the beer into the fridge. Then she sets a 10-minute countdown. By the time it goes off, her side dishes are perfectly ready. She grabs a beer and a frozen glass from the fridge, pours it slowly down the side to keep the foam under control. By now, Kyoko's throat is dry as dust. So that first beer, gone in one big gulp. And the feeling? Pure bliss. When it's time for the second glass, Kyoko has one rule. Always switch to a new glass because a warm cup ruins the flavor. This time, she takes it slow, pairing every bite of food with a cold sip. A mouthful of food, a gulp of chilled beer. It's the ultimate combo. For a woman who's been single for 36 years and lives for beer, wasting food or drink is a sin, so she never leaves a drop behind. By the time she finishes the last sip, the dishes are squeaky clean, full and satisfied. Kyoko bows deeply to the table, thanking the food for bringing her peak-level happiness.
This chef used his own bald head as an ingredient. First, he spread a layer of flour on it. Then, he cracked a few eggs and smeared them evenly. Finally, he coated his head with breadcrumbs. The key was to turn his head around a few more times to make sure that every part was covered with the breadcrumbs. After that, he went to the cooking area and pressed the timer. Then he directly buried his head into the pot. His incredibly superb cooking skills shocked everyone. People thought he had gone crazy. But actually, all of this was the doing of this mobile phone. And the owner of this mobile phone was the chef's apprentice, David. A few days ago, David asked his mother for money to buy a mobile phone. However, his mother only gave him $30. Then David went to the boss of the fried chicken restaurant where he had worked before, because the boss had already owed him 2 months worth of salary. Unexpectedly, the boss directly took out a $100 bill. David was very excited, but soon he realized that it was just a coupon. At that moment, the boss laughed loudly behind his back. After that, David went to the mobile phone store, but with only $30, he could only afford to buy a phone case. Just when he was about to give up, the store owner took out a mysterious box. This box seemed to have some magical power, and David was immediately attracted to it. Then the owner pressed the button to open the box, and inside was a strange red mobile phone. The owner said that this mobile phone was only sold for $30. Without hesitation, David paid the money. At this moment, the mobile phone suddenly lit up, and David's face appeared on the screen of this mobile phone.